I know that these words, that is los artículos de español, haunt you when you want to talk fluently in Spanish language. Of course, you are an English speaker and you know where to use the articles in English language, but the system of los artículos de español is much more complicated and problematic. And you cannot afford to avoid it either because it's all over the Spanish language. So let's try to unwind even the slightest confusion in los artículos de español.
So before beginning everything in detail, let's have a quick introduction of the articles, definite and indefinite articles. Definite article, which is the, is put before something which is quite specific and probably which is already known by the listener or the reader. For example, I like the car that she drives. So it's a specific car, the car that she drives. Or if I say I'm going to the market, probably the listener knows to which market I'm going. Probably I go to one particular market every week. Okay, we put indefinite article before a noun which is very general, which is not specific. Okay, for example, if I say I want a glass of water, it could be any kind of glass, any shape, it doesn't matter. Okay, so there I want a glass of water. Now it's just the with the definite article, but in Spanish language it could be el, la, los, las. So let's try to unwind the confusion by taking a very simple example. Okay, so I am going to take example of some Spanish words. For example, number one, el cuerpo. El cuerpo is the body. Okay, so if I say the body, el cuerpo. If I pluralize that, I would say the bodies, I would say los cuerpos in place of el, los, but over here it's just the. Okay, now if I say nose, I would say la nariz. In English it's the nose, that's it. So again it's just the nose, but in Spanish it's la nariz. And if I pluralize that, I would say the noses. Okay, but in Spanish I would say las narices. So you can see when the gender changes or something becomes plural from singular, the article changes. That is the reason why we just have the in English language and we have el, la, los, y las in Spanish language. Okay, similarly, let's try to understand the a, e, and thing. If I say a body, any body, you would say un cuerpo, masculine singular, un cuerpo. If I say more than one body, I would definitely not use a or an, but I would rather say some bodies or a few bodies, but in Spanish is unos cuerpos. Okay, so for plural masculine, unos. If I talk about nose, a nose, una nariz. Okay, una nariz. And if I say some noses or a few noses, unas narices. Okay, so I think now we can generalize that in the form of table. It's el, masculine singular. Okay, los, masculine plural, la, feminine singular, las, feminine plural. And if we talk about the indefinite article,
Un, masculine singular,
unos, masculine plural, una, feminine singular, and unas, feminine plural. So now I think you are a bit more confident, but I think even when you know the rules, you are not very comfortable while applying them, because some rules are exactly same as we do them in English language, but there are a lot of exceptions. So let's try to dig deeper into it by taking a couple of examples. Okay, so before beginning the examples, let's do a new word. The new word comes from the verb necesitar, that means to need. I need is necesito. Okay, now let's begin the example. Suppose you are in a bank and you need to sign some papers and you don't have the pen. Okay, and you just want a pen, any random pen. You would say, I need a pen, right? So in Spanish you could say necesito una pluma, because pluma is pen. Necesito una pluma. I need a pen. Okay? On the other hand, if I ask you to imagine that you can see that the person in front of you is actually holding a pen and you want that pen, you would say, I want the pen, probably while signaling towards that pen. Okay? So you would say, I want the pen. In Spanish as well, you would say necesito la pluma. Okay, so in place of una, now you would say necesito la pluma. Or take the other example. Suppose you are having a discussion with your friend and you are telling her that you need to go shopping because you need some shoes. So you would just say randomly, necesito unos zapatos. Necesito, I need, unos zapatos, some shoes.
Now imagine that you go to a shoe store and you see a pair of shoes and you quite like that. You would say, necesito los zapatos. Now, even if it's one pair, you would say los zapatos because the shoes always come in pair. And if you want to say I want the shoes, you can say quiero los zapatos. So this quiero comes from verb querer, which is to want. Now let's take another example with the help of a conversation. Suppose somebody asks you, where do you work? So where is donde? Donde trabajas? Trabajas comes from verb trabajar. Trabajar is to work. So you work is trabajas. Donde trabajas? And suppose you say, I work in a supermarket. So it's a supermarket because the listener doesn't know which supermarket you're talking about. So in Spanish, trabajo en un supermercado. Un supermercado, that means a supermarket. Now, suppose that person asks you, do you like your work? ¿Te gusta tu trabajo? Do you like your work? So you would say, yes, the supermarket is good. So this time it's the supermarket because now the listener knows which supermarket I'm talking about. So in Spanish it's sí, el supermercado es bueno. So el supermercado. Because we need the definite article over here. So far we have seen that the application of articles is same in Spanish as we do it in English language, but there are exceptions, and this is the reason why everybody recommends not to translate anything directly from one language to other language. Let's have a look at the exceptions.
So the exception is that we drop the articles when we are talking about somebody's profession, any specific role, or religion, nationality, ideology. For example, I can say I am a teacher. Okay? So if I say I am a teacher, in Spanish I can say soy profesora. Now, I would not say una profesora because it is about my profession. Soy profesora. That's it. Okay? So this one done. Or if I say I am a mother, so I can say soy, I would not say anything for a, mother, madre. That's it. Soy madre. Okay? But if we add some adjectives to teacher or mother, okay, if we try to explain them more by adding adjectives, then we introduce the articles. Okay? So, soy profesora. I am a teacher. If I say I am a good teacher, I would say I soy una buena profesora. Okay? Now I'm putting una. Okay? Similarly, I say I am a mother. Soy madre. If I say I am a busy mother, then you can say I soy una madre ocupada. Ocupada is busy. Soy una madre ocupada.
I hope that you found the video helpful. Any query or suggestion will be more than welcomed in the comment box, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe and help me grow as a YouTuber. I'll keep posting such videos frequently. Thank you and keep studying Spanish.